Just because like you think you're a good teacher, right? You can't just make behavior problems go away, right? There was in the Dostoevsky's novel, The Brothers Karamazov, he says, well, he's writing this story here, and there's this this monk, right? And it's like the main character of the story. His name's Alyosha, and Alyosha is this saint-like figure, right? He almost does no wrong, and everybody loves him, right? They love him throughout the community, this little town. And one day he's caught up in all this drama and this trouble, right? And one day he's walking into town, and he sees these boys who are throwing rocks at this one kid or whatever, right? And he's like, what in the world, right? So he goes up to try to help the kid. And what does the kid do? He was trying to be helped by Alyosha. He takes rocks himself and throws them at Alyosha, and I believe he bites his hand. And so like he wasn't friendly at all. And you're thinking, like, you just extended your friendship to a person, right, who's in need, who's in trouble, and you're trying to better their situation, right? You're trying to make it so that way they're not getting bullied or harassed by the other children, and they come back to bite you. And I just think it's a funny, not a funny story. I mean, it's a sad story, but it's a it's a story it's almost like an allegory in some regards, right? It's very relevant to today's situation where sometimes kids just don't know how to respond to, I guess, people being nice to them, right? I mean, they never had anybody be nice to them. And so one of the things that I talked about in the last lecture here, I don't have it on the board right now, was the parental situation, right? Or underprivileged backgrounds, right? So if you got, parents who are, very mean to your kid, for example, right? Maybe they just don't know how to respond to niceness, and so that's a possibility. Or maybe they're being bullied. They think everybody's out to get them in some regards, right? And it's a defense mechanism, right? Because if everybody is out to get them, right, in the majority of the time in their life, right, well, of course they're going to put up their guard whenever you come around and try to be friendly to them, right? And maybe they do come around eventually, right? But you're going to deal with a lot of kids who, well, it's going to be difficult, right? And they don't know how to necessarily to respond to certain things. And so you got to be willing to accept that it's just a very difficult profession in general, right? And you can't necessarily always make the best outcomes happen, right? And so, well, that's behavior management.